I didn't slam the door when I left. I didn't shout, didn't curse, didn't even ask her why. Because when the truth slices that deep, silence becomes the only language that makes sense. She lied. And in that moment, I stopped searching for reasons. I walked out because I had to, because staying would have meant choking down something I couldn't survive. And I thought that was the end. I believed it was over. Until the letter showed up. Crumpled, folded, left quietly on my doorstep. Delivered in the softest, most devastating way. And suddenly, everything I thought I knew shattered all over again. We had spent 4 years together. 4 years of shared keys, inside jokes, and quiet Sunday mornings wrapped in familiarity. It wasn't fireworks anymore. It was steady, safe routine. Or at least that's what I believed. Looking back now, I can pinpoint the moment the air shifted. It was in her eyes, how they stopped lingering on mine. It was in her voice, how she started speaking in half-finished sentences, always holding something back. But I ignored the signs. Because when you love someone, you defend them, even from your own instincts. And maybe that's why the truth cut deeper when it finally surfaced. It started small. Just a conversation I overheard. Her voice, low and uneasy, saying she couldn't keep doing this, saying she felt guilty. I shouldn't have listened, but I did. That night, I asked her about it. She smiled. Said it was work stress. Said I was imagining things. And I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. But the next morning, I did something I'd never done before. I checked her messages. And there it was. A name. A piece of her life I didn't exist in. She hadn't cheated. Not with her body, but with her heart. And that was enough. I remember staring at the screen numb. I didn't wait for her to come home. I didn't write a note. I just grabbed my keys, my coat, and left. Because she had already abandoned the truth. Days blurred into weeks. I moved into a new place, tried to start fresh. But she still haunted the quiet moments. In the pause when I saw a shirt that looked like hers. In the ache of realizing I no longer knew what she was doing, where she was, who she was with. But I never called. Never texted. Because she had lied. And that was a line I couldn't cross back over. Then one rainy afternoon, I found it. A letter. No envelope. Just my name scrawled in her handwriting, waiting at my door. I froze. Every part of me screamed not to open it. Not to let her back in. Not even through words. But I opened it anyway. And what I read broke me in a way her lie never could. Asterisk, you probably hate me. I would too. But before you erase me completely, please read this. Not because I deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve the truth. I lied that night. Not because I didn't trust you, but because I was ashamed of who I was becoming. That man in my messages, I wasn't in love with him. I was in love with the attention, the escape, the version of me that didn't have to be perfect or strong, or put together. With you, I was everything I wanted to be. But I didn't know how to hold on to that without feeling like I was failing. I know it makes no sense, but I was terrified. Terrified I wasn't enough anymore. Terrified one day you'd realize you deserved better. So I created chaos. A coward's way out. I gave you a reason to hate me instead of asking for help. You didn't yell when you left. You didn't even look back. But I watched you from the window. And I've never stopped regretting it. I've gone to message you 100 times. But what do you say to the person whose heart you broke without meaning to? I'm not asking for another chance. I just need you to know, you were never the problem. I was. And I'll carry that for the rest of my life. I hope you find peace. I hope you find someone who stays when things get messy. And if you ever wonder whether I loved you, yes, I did. I still do. I just didn't know how to love you the way you deserved. Asterisk. Her name was at the bottom. I sat on the floor for hours after reading it. Not because forgiveness came easily, but because I finally understood. Betrayal isn't always born from malice. Sometimes it's born from fear, from insecurity disguised as distance, from someone slowly unraveling inside. And the truth hurt worse than the lie, because it reminded me that what we had was real, just not strong enough to survive the war she was fighting with herself. I never wrote back. Not because I felt nothing, but because some letters are meant to be endings, not beginnings. And yet, I carried it with me. Not to reopen wounds, but to remind myself. Sometimes people don't leave because they stop loving you. Sometimes they leave because they forget how to love themselves. To anyone holding the weight of someone else's betrayal, you are allowed to walk away. You are allowed never to look back. But if closure finds you, whether in an envelope, a message, or a whisper from the past, let it reach you. Not to relive what's gone, but to finally set it down. If this story touched you, share it. Send it to someone still healing in silence. And remember, truth may wound, but it also sets you free. Because sometimes walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning of understanding.